Hi folks, what's the crack? Hark DC here with a new weekly video segment simply entitled Why You Need This Album. This is simply just going to consist of me talking about specific albums that I love and admire and have inspired me a lot over the years, and I would just like to pass on the information to other people out there, or like-minded people who might be interested in discovering new music or music they might not have heard before. Now I know what you're thinking.
Who do you think you are?
You may also be thinking, who is this guy? Probably knows nothing about music, probably doesn't even play an instrument. See? Told you. Let's move on. This week we're going to take a look at the Muse album Showbiz, which is their debut album from 1999. So let's get to it. The English alternative rock group Muse, formed in 1994 in the Devon town of Teignmouth. The band consists of Matt Bellamy on vocals, pianos, guitars, Chris Holstenholm on bass, backing vocals, and Dominic Howard on drums. After winning a local battle of the bands under the name Rocket Baby Dolls, they changed their name to Muse and went on to record a handful of songs that became their first self-titled EP, some of which would finally go on to be released on the album Showbiz. A second EP followed, titled Muscle Museum EP, featuring more songs that would make an appearance on their debut album. These two EPs formed the basis of the first album, an album of which I think people often forget about, as it received mixed to positive reviews upon its release. After listening to the first two EPs, you could see the band was on the right track, and despite the moderate reviews upon the debut album's first release, you can see how well honed the band were, functioning flawlessly, showing the world with the Showbiz album that they had offered an alternative to the pop drivel that dominated the mid to late 90s, and that they were here to stay. The album opens with the track Sunburn, a beautiful piano piece that entices you into the song. Then a snap of a snare drum kicks you awake, urging you to pay attention to the ensuing auditory pleasure. We are then guided into track 2, Muscle Museum. A distorted bass are welcoming Matt, giving us an indication of what's to come. Like Sunburn, the snare drum startles us, much like a horror movie jump scare, to drive home the beat of the song, followed by a piano-esque guitar riff. Matt's voice again soft throughout the verse until the chorus, a sort of calm before the storm. As the end of the song nears, Matt hits a high falsetto vocal that melts into a guitar solo so convincingly you can't tell the two apart. Philippe, the third track, takes a stark departure, with a distorted intro sounding like a detuned radio as we are introduced to a heavy guitar, drum and bass intro, which carries us throughout the song. Until the middle section, where the tempo slows, transporting us into a piano-led interstellar journey. Matt's voice, almost theremin-like throughout, before the tempo picks up, hurtling us back to the chorus and again, slowly applying the breaks before the song ends. This is when the next track, Falling Down, comes in, a particular favourite of myself. A very soft, almost gospel-like guitar intro greets us warmly, accompanied by Matt's swelling vibrato-laden voice. The chorus has the beginning of the customary backing vocals that are more prevalent in Muse's later works. Though it is a soft backing vocal, it is there. As the song progresses, you feel the volume gently rise with the intensity of each chorus until the final one, where Matt screams and almost breaks under the pressure. However, he reins it in, giving us a lovely falsetto outro, showing us the dexterity of his range. Cave starts as though someone is trying to get a signal on a two-way radio, when the guitar starts moving us into a verse, almost reminiscent of a Bond theme. Then to a chorus where we hear Matt really give a powerful vocal performance. Similar to Philippe, the midsection gradually slows the tempo till we are left with a lovely, inspiring piano break that brings us to a powerful conclusion. A tribal-like intro to the title track is presented to us, reminding me of a similar sound to one of the pieces of music by Philip Glass that featured in the movie The Truman Show. As the song progresses, I seem to get images of the film 28 Days Later in my head. I don't know why, but it feels like it should have been in that movie. Probably because the song East Hastings from the 28 Days Later soundtrack has a very similar vibe. It starts off slow, but as the song progresses the tempo quickens to a thundering end. Unintended must have been an ironic title, as the song may have been an unintended masterpiece. A beautiful classical guitar takes us by the hand and gently ushers us to a brooding vocal by Matt Bellamy. Broody yet hopeful. In the same vein as Falling Down, we hear the extent of Matt's vocal abilities in the second and third chorus, a song I enjoy busking as it's a pleasure to play. A swelling distorted guitar starts Uno when the rest of the ensemble joins in. The guitar feeds back, albeit in a good way. The second verse has a lovely guitar solo, again in the style of a Bond theme, making me wonder why Muse didn't submit their music for a Bond movie. Matt's guitar skills really on show here, and the crisp clear bass tone cuts through the song like a knife through hot butter. Sober, a guitar-driven rock staple, once again the bass the partner in crime with the guitar. Matt's voice solid throughout. With the midsection we hear the familiar sounds of Matt's soaring guitar effects, as though he had been listening to Rage Against the Machine over and over before delivering the guitar in this part. This is a solid song, and it breaks up the album well. Strong harmonies at the beginning of Escape, a technique Muse would perfect over the years with absolute precision. Heavy choruses invest us into the song, wanting to know what it's about as we move into another effects-driven solo section, showing us once again Matt's awareness of the fretboard and the effects. Overgy, a simple yet effective song to guide us ever closer to the album's end. Everything just works on this song. All the instruments sparkle and complement each other well on this one. Hate This and I Love You Too. Dreamy is a word one could use to describe this track. Before pulling us into an inspired chorus, the song makes you feel like you've just listened to something special. Like the end of a fantastic TV series that resolves in the end, leaving us with the protagonists that are set in their ways, but wondering what's next for them. This album has the same effect, making us wonder what's next. Showbiz is an album that has solidified Muse as a mainstay in the alternative rock scene. It's a personal favourite of mine. I can't fault a song on it, and if anyone out there sees this video and hasn't listened to it, I urge you to do so. It'll be worth your time. Well, there we go folks. That's my first attempt at doing that, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I see you next week. If you do get a chance, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. I'm just really trying to build it up as much as I can right now. And thanks very much again, and hopefully I see you next week. See you later.